phone interview time. So if you pass the web-based, you should have known right away. They're very straightforward. I mean, it's either you pass or you don't, and you'll get a cool thing that says you are strongly qualified and will be wanting a phone interview. So they send you an email inviting you to do a phone interview. Usually it took me about 2 hours after my web based to be able to get it back. It just depends on the day that you take it. I took the web based the very first day you could. Um, so whatever. You'll schedule your phone interview, and they legitimately have all times of the day. So mine's in Mountain Time, and they had starting at 7 a.m. and ending at 11 p.m. So huge range there. So it really should work as a schedule, and it's every 15 minutes. Typically the ones that go first are 8 to noon. Is the ones that went first. On my Facebook group that I was on, there was a role sheet that had descriptions of the roles, what they're looking for, and then there was also a question sheet. So I took that question sheet and I just went through every single one and asked myself that, and then wrote down little tips and tricks, not word for word, just little tidbits. Because I wanted to be prepared. I really stress being prepared. I think that that's why most people don't get accepted, is the phone interview. So I went through that. I picked my top 4 roles because usually it's top 3, but I've heard some people get top 4. And then I picked those and practiced those questions, and also practiced why I wanted those roles the most. My top roles were merchandise, attractions, and character attendant, I believe is the last one. I didn't really want it, but my top 2 huge ones was merchandise and attractions. So I practiced how I would do that. The huge question that they will ask you, mine was asked very first, why the Disney College Program? Know that answer in your brain. You and I both know why you want to do it. I don't know yours, obviously, but you know why. Make sure that you're ready for that, because I think that's the big question that determines whether or not you're going to get in. I called my dad and I sent him the questions, and my dad interviewed me for about 2 hours on all the questions, giving me tips. If you have a parent or somebody who's really good at interviews, I would do that, because he gave me a whole bunch of really great tips and answers that I wouldn't have thought of. Then you go to the phone interview. Something I would definitely suggest, set your time 30 minutes after when you're actually good to go. So my time was at 6:30. I was ready to go at 6. I know that some other people were mentioning on Facebook group that they had the interviewer call them up to 20 minutes early. They're not supposed to, but they do. And if you're ready, you can be like, don't worry about it. I've been preparing for this and I'm ready. So I would suggest putting it 30 minutes after when you actually want to. I went into a private little study room that we have downstairs in my dorm, and I put, I would do this too if I were you. I put a sign on the door saying, do not enter, please be quiet, please be courteous. This is really important to me. And for the most part, people listened. I didn't have any interruptions. I saw some people were going to, but they didn't. Also, have a huge glass of water with you. You'd be surprised how quickly your throat dries up, almost immediately. Make sure your phone is not on silent. I had it on even though it made me jump because I was really nervous. I had everything in front of me, had my resume in front of me. I didn't end up needing it, but had that in front of me, and then all the questions. So questions that I was asked. The big ones were, first, why the Disney College Program? Past job experience. She just said, what's your past job experience? I gave my top 3 job experiences. Then I think, what came next? Oh yeah, I really emphasized merchandise, how much I wanted it, especially with guest interaction. Yeah, and then attractions, I just gave, how I can make it better than what's happening, take the negatives into a positive. Then she asked, how do I deal with repetitive tasks? I was prepared for that. Would I rather work indoors and outdoors? Am I better working alone or with a group? And I believe that my interviewer actually didn't really ask a lot of situational questions. I know some other people got questions that were like, if a child drops his ice cream cone, what do you do? I wasn't asked any of that, so it really did worry me, but I got in, so I guess it was okay. Then I was asked some basic stuff about the Disney look. Would I be able to comply? Have I read everything and understand it? And I did. I did talk a lot, so it worked out for my benefit, especially because, again, my interviewer did not really ask a lot of questions. I know some of the people, their interview with the same person was only 9 to 11 minutes. Mine ended up being about 23 minutes, but I did talk a lot. And then as soon as I was finished, she said, okay, great. So don't be nervous if you don't get a lot of feedback, because I didn't. Finally, my huge tip of advice would be number one, or I guess there's a few. Number one, write down your interviewer's name and refer to it at the end. So my person's was Nina, so at the end I said, thank you so much, Nina. Two, and this is my huge one, pick a theme that you want your interview to be. I picked the theme of joy and family. So throughout my interview, I really emphasized how much I want to bring joy to people's hearts, how much Disney brings joy to me. And then I really emphasized how important family is for me with my family situation and why I think families are so amazing, things like that. So I would encourage those. Oh, and thank you letters. Please send a thank you letter. I really do think it helps. They won't send you anything back, but I know that they go through that entire email with recruiting. So the same people that sent you the emails, you just send it right back to them. And I just said, thank you so much. Explained how much I wanted it. So then when your phone interview is done, that's pretty much it. You can't do anything else except wait. Again, our wait was 2 weeks and 1 day. So when it happens, you will know. I would join the Facebook group. It can be really therapeutic, and you're on it 5 hours a day if you're really obsessed. So yeah, I think that's about it. This evening, I'm selecting my official departure date. I know I'll be getting back January 4th, 2013, but I'm probably going to leave August 20th. I'll let you know how that goes and what happens after you accept everything, and things like that. So, yeah, that's it. Bye.